What's up, guys? So today we're doing absolutely nothing. Basically, the end game of Anime Fighters is just stay AFK in the time chamber forever, maybe pop out once in a while, farm a couple of the new towers to grind some rerolls, which honestly I should probably start doing because we are kinda down bad at this point for passive tokens. 2.3k left, which is extremely low. Although I can't really be bothered with the cooldown on artifact swapping and whatnot. But anyway, so let's do something today because firstly we need the views, because views equal money and I like money.
Hello, I like money.
And secondly, let's just try to, I don't know, come up with an update. We're gonna cosplay the boss in this video and we're gonna try to cook up an FS update in literally the next 10 minutes of this video or something. So bear with me, guys. Now, before you guys say, okay, you know, this doesn't sound good or whatnot, keep in mind that the things that I'm gonna say can be applied and introduced on different methods. I just chose this update in particular for the update to be cool. Now, some of you guys will probably not like the theme of it because it's gonna be like Walking Dead, zombies, apocalypse, and whatnot themed. But in case you don't like it, whatever I'll say can be applied and introduced as a different method. So anyway, here goes nothing. So, update for the Anime Fighters. There is a new anime around that's pretty decent for those of you guys that are anime nerds. It's called Zom100. Zom100. Maybe you guys could go watch it. And for purpose of copyright, we can just call it 100B. I don't know, does it even work? Whatever, it doesn't matter. But yeah, anyway, that's the choice for the next update that I would say. I would suggest. It's a pretty cool anime. It's new and trending as well. So, you know, why the hell not? It also has an insane looking shark up there on the flyer, which could be a very cool mount. I don't know. I'd actually ride that thing.
Huh?
But anyway, so let's jump into this update and what could be some extremely cool stuff to be introduced with this update. Now, one of the great things about this particular update here, Tower, obviously. Tower was definitely a success. You cannot like say that Tower was not a successful addition to the game. It was pretty nice. Now, one thing that's really bad, obviously, first of all the upgrades from the tower, they don't have an indicator of whether you actually got them, which is really bad. But yeah, anyway, so +1 boosts on every category. Obviously, the reason like this boosts were added is because slowly but steadily we actually want to remove that permanent 3x event out of the game. Like, we want to push that out of the game and bring the game sort of back to normal, because it's quite literally unplayable without the events. But the problem is that these events that were added, they were added as additive and not multiplicative events. Now, obviously for stuff like time and whatnot, that's fine, but when it comes to drops, it's kind of shit that they're not like multiplicative, and basically they don't resemble the events, because the events work multiplicatively and actually make the things like work out, you know. All the multipliers. I don't know if you guys understand what I mean, but anyway, so events don't really work multiplicatively, they work additive, which is kind of bad. But yeah, that should be changed. But besides that, obviously this is not enough, so I figured what would be a good way to do. And yeah, like very simple, we could add some more of them because we need at least +3 to compensate for the loss of the events. So we can just go ahead here, as you guys can see in this picture as well, we could just add these permanent upgrades in the upgrade system, and that would be basically rooms for towers. So room 150, 160, 170, whatever. I don't know if they will stick with the current scaling, and I don't know how the current scaling will feel from update to update, like how much will the impact gonna be. But you kind of get the idea. Just slam another +1 as an upgrade in the tower for floor reached. And honestly, guys, on the topic of floor reached, I would also go ahead and slam a like room 150 of the Infinity Tower reached. Allows the user to use both of the artifacts at 100% of what they are. Like, so just like allow you to use your artifacts at its full capabilities. Like, this 75% thing is so silly. I can't even explain you guys how silly it is. So just to put in comparison, as you guys can see right here, I have 13 double light speed units. 13 double light speeds, which is not easy to get for 99.9% of the player base, and my timer is 24.6. Now, if I go back to Challenge Hub and I just remove my secondary artifact, boom, unequip, I go back, 22.45. Well, As you can see, the difference is so small that it doesn't even matter. Well, actually, it's gonna be 23. It's not even gonna be like that much because it always, when you remove the artifact, for some reason, it's always 9 out of 10. So yeah, it's gonna be something like 24, so 23, sorry. So you can see that the difference is like so small that, okay, 23.5, like you barely feel the difference of them. Like I would understand for the second artifact to be like 75% effective, but affecting both artifacts at 75% is just, I don't know, it's just silly and it doesn't work out at all. Like, and that's with maxed out artifacts and the best units, like units having double of the best passives and whatnot. Like, and what? It's just from 23 to 24. The difference is so small, it's just silly. So go ahead, slam an upgrade, reach 150 room in Infinity Tower. Both of your artifacts work at 100% effectiveness. Boom. I don't see the problem with that, considering how they are managing the power scaling anyway. Introducing a divine that's 20% stronger literally every update, or increasing the level cap by 10 every update, which needs to stop. Like, this just needs to stop. It's horrible. It kills off any player that's like on the end game. Extra 10 levels, just kill them every update. But yeah, moving on. We're gonna talk about the next thing in this video. Since we're still on the upgrades system, obviously we have room 20 and room 40 extra star opens. Now, I would understand why you might not wanna remove both of these achievements from the game, obviously like for newer players and stuff like that. Which, by the way, obviously, as a newer player, you still have to get carried, so like somebody has to carry you, which is obviously not achievable for most people that are just starting the game. They may all not have friends and whatnot. They really just don't find people to carry them. But okay, let's say for the sake of my argument, just keep extra star every room 20, but this room 40 is too much. Just go ahead, get rid of it. So we currently have 5 time trials in the challenge hub, and you guys know that's literally perfect, alright? Hear me out. Room 40 minus 1 day on the limit breaker machine. So boom, 9 days. Boom, 8 days. Boom, 7, boom, 6, boom, 5. And there you go. 5 days for limit breaker. I think 5 days is fine. If anybody cries about 5 days limit breaker, like, I don't know. Obviously the game needs to be challenging, right? 5 days in the limit breaker, more than enough. Just go ahead, every room 40 achievement, boom, minus 1 day on the limit breaker. GG. Let's go next. Now, that's all cool stuff. That's a couple of quality of life changes and whatnot. Now let's talk about actual stuff, right? Now, the game, besides all of that stuff, is pretty garbage. What do? You go for 1 divine unit, which, well, back in Tyrant's days used to be every 3 updates. Now apparently it's every update, which is kind of annoying with the level cap. And then what? You try to get that protagonist, you want to level it up, you want to roll it off, double guard, and boom, you have best units in the game. Trying to make an OP team, right? But the game is very, very, very single dimensional, right? There's like literally not too much to do besides like that, going for 1 particular unit and whatnot. And there's a lot of dead content into the game. Now, since we're making a zombies update, we might as well just go ahead and revamp some of the systems. And obviously, like dungeon now, don't get me wrong, it's still good, but it's basically like a weaker version of the tower. And if you have like the tower, why would you do dungeon? You can do it during downtime, obviously, but you know why? So I would go ahead and I would revamp it. So, you know, the zombies came, oh my god, we have a plague, blah, blah, blah. And how about, guys, we just switch up the dungeon, like we add some plague containers and like green liquids and stuff all over the dungeon. Like the dungeon has been infected and there has been like a zombie mutation and whatnot. And boom, you go to the dungeon. So small revamp of the dungeon. Also just remove all of these like silly shard, all the maps and whatnot, like small, medium, large. Well, you can keep the difficulties, but yeah, just remove it. Make it 1, like make it like some sort of an infected dungeon. And you can keep the maps as well if you want for shards, if you want to keep the shards in. But the currency that you're going to be looting from the new dungeons with the plague and the infused mobs and whatnot is going to be called the mutation serum. Now, what will you do with a mutation serum? We have obviously a plague doctor, which is going to be our vendor for this, and our vendor is going to be selling us a whole bunch of stuff from the dungeon shop. Now, as you guys can see in this picture that I cooked up, we're going to have a permanent damage boost, permanent times, permanent drops boost, etc. Stuff like that, obviously. So that way we have +1 perma boost from the random drops, which we currently have. Then we're gonna have +1 extra drop from the upgrade system for reaching X amount of floors in the tower thing. And then boom, we have a grindable perma boost here from the plague dungeon, which we'll be introducing. So there you go, 1, 2, 3, boom. You can get rid of the events, problem solved. The game can return back to normal very, very smoothly. So people just have to do a little bit of grinding, and they obviously can have help for it. And there you go. And again, dungeons and dungeon cooldown will have meaning. People will have a reason to grind out dungeon like this, right? Obviously, you can keep the reroll, stuff like that for people, because why not, you know? But yeah, this is gonna be the new currency, the mutated serum. We can also add other stuff. And lastly, as you guys can see down in the bottom, we have the infected token. Now, what is the infected token? So, at the very last room of the dungeon, where all the chest rooms are, and after you finish the dungeon, you have 5 minutes to spend in the dungeon, right? There is gonna be a machine in that particular room, just like this one, where you can slam a unit in, and you can basically use that infect token to infect your unit. Now, what does that do? Since we need something else to do in the game, right? Another way to increase the power creep, like you infect your unit, and then you get a random number. So we're gonna make it also negative, right? Because we're infecting our units, we're playing with fire. So your unit can either go from -10 to +20% power. I think that would be pretty cool, right? So you're trying to get these infected tokens, you get them into that machine, and then you like infect your units, and your units have a high roll chance anywhere from -10 to +20%. And that affects basically like their stats. Just, I don't know, the damage, whatever you want, like their basic stats. So -10 +20%. Now, obviously, you might get something really shit, right? You might get -5%. You wouldn't want that for your unit, or like I might go like +8%, but I'm an endgame player. I'm going for the best team in the game. As you guys can see, I have basically a lot of the best units in the game possible. So 8% for me doesn't cut it. Do I want to go for something that's higher, closer to 20%, which is like the best sort of upgrade for my unit? Sure. So what do? We have an extra machine, which will be on the new map, on the Zom100 map. And that will be the cleanser. So that will be a cleanse machine where you actually use a cleanse token to actually purify your unit out of its current infection, and then you can go ahead and reinfect it. Now, this unit is gonna work, this machine is gonna work something similar to the limit breaker. You go in, you leave your unit inside. I don't know how much time. That's very easy to tune. It shouldn't be that long either, but it could be, I don't know, maybe like 1 day or something. With actually even I make the argument that it could be 3 days, because for high-end players, I don't know, but it's kind of bad to balance it around high-end players. I would say 1 to 2 days is fine for that. So we have that machine cleanser, obviously, and yeah, you just go in there, you leave your unit for 1 to 2 days of time. Obviously, that gets affected by your time multiplier, and your unit becomes back to normal, 0%, and then you can go ahead and infect it. And imagine having to do it for all of your units. That's a lot of content to actually go through. That would make people a lot more interesting than to play the game than this one-dimensional like gameplay that we are having right now. I think it sounds cool. I don't know if you guys like it. And obviously, how do you get those cleanse tokens? We are gonna revamp another system that we currently have. So we currently have the meteors, right? Meteors completely dead. There's nothing to do. Nobody cares about fruits, and because everybody has infinite fruits, nobody's gonna grind them from the meteors. What you can do instead of the meteors, you can change the meteors, and you just like rename it, right, to some sort of like a plague invasion. So there is a small plague invasion on X amount of map where the meteors drop, and like instead you go there and there's like either one big like infected boss, or like a whole bunch of like small infected mobs, and then you kill them. They have a chance to give you infected tokens, serum, stuff like that, and they also have a chance to give you those cleanse tokens. I think that'll also be pretty cool. So you basically revamp one system, you revamp another system, and then you create a whole new system which people will be able to grind, and everybody will do that, right? Like plus 20% on every single one of your units. It's pretty good, and it does make quite a considerable difference. So I don't know, it sounds cool to me. Again, obviously you can just completely like rebrand this, as I said at the start of the video, right? Like if you don't like the zombie theme and whatnot, you can just like call it something else, but the system is there, right? Like you can just do something like that. And that's pretty much it. Now, on the last machine, this is something that I've been advocating for a while now. Dupe and clone machine should stay. There is no reason to remove them. First of all, from a business standpoint, which basically the boss is the only thing that he cares about, they both bring pretty good money. Like clone machine, I'm pretty sure they bring good Robux incomes. I don't know, the dupe one, probably mostly YouTubers and stuff like that for content. But the clone machine, I'm pretty sure that people are actually spending Robux in there. So just slump both of them in the last map and I don't know, make them use infected tokens or whatever, you know, something like that. And just allow people to use them. I think nobody would really mind that. To be honest, everybody would like it. And it's a pretty good source of Robux since people use it. And since we're on the subject of all of these machineries, we can actually go ahead and something else that at this point I think needs to be introduced is a fragment swapper. Like with the introduction of double artifacts and stuff like that, basically artifacts have moved on from paying something that is luxurious for the high-end players to basically even mid players like need to unlock them and stuff like that. And obviously the fragments, like the colors, are not balanced at all. Everybody knows it. Like everybody just wants purple fragments and blue fragments and green fragments. Yellow and gold is barely touched. So why don't we just go ahead and introduce a fragment swapper where you can basically convert your fragments from one color to another. That would help people a lot to actually get what they want and upgrade their stuff. Because at this point, like artifacts is something that's not like so luxurious and also not so high-end-ish. So, you know, who cares? Just go ahead, allow people to just play the game easier. Like, make sure that people have fun playing the game, you know, and just they don't get like linked by playing the game. I think that's it. But anyway, guys, 17-minute video already. Let me know, guys, down below in the comments if you like some of these ideas and whatnot. Once again, I said don't get caught in the whole like zombie theme. I just chose to do like Zom100 as the anime for the update, but you can literally apply all of these like systems as under different like brands and names. But yeah, that was pretty much it for this video, guys. As always, if you guys have enjoyed, make sure to click the like and subscribe button down below, and catch you guys all on the next one. Peace out.